Okay, we're here at my sister's home, and this particular quilt is made, or was made, by our mom. Tell me about anything you know about this one.
Mother made this all by herself when she was 18 years old.
And is it a
It's applique.
basket of flowers, or do
It
we know
is.
the title?
And no, but it's applique.
Beautiful, and look at all those little stitches on the white. She did a lot of work. I wanted to show you this first one that our mom did, and then I'm going to show you other ones that my sister Ellen did. All right, now we're in a bedroom where she has 3 of her quilts out. Can you tell us about these? You made these?
Yes, I made all of these.
Okay.
This first quilt is Cathedral Window. It's actually not quilted with a machine. Everything is done by hand on this one. And I used this for years as a coverlet on our bed.
Beautiful.
This is a grandmother flower garden. And this one has a lot of memory colors because many of these fabrics were dresses or blouses that my sisters and I had as we grew up. This one is Log Cabin, and it's the only log cabin quilt that I've made.
I like the colors on that and the different fabrics. All right, so there's 3 with the names of what kind of quilt that it is. All right, now we're in the sunroom, and what did you tell me about this one?
This is an applique. I wanted to try my efforts at making an applique quilt, so I chose the strawberry, and so then I had it machine quilted.
Beautiful. Okay. And then this one?
This quilt is called Colors, and it was just one that I enjoyed making. Had a lot of different fabrics, and yet they all work together.
Okay. All right, here's the next quilt, and tell me about this one.
This is a quilt that I've made for a grandchild who is a Clemson graduate. I've tried to make a quilt for all of my grandchildren when they finish school after high school. And so this is one of them.
Wow, it's beautiful. All right, here's another one. For a baby. All right, this is another one of Ellen's quilts, and I want her to tell you about it because there's a story that goes with it.
So sometime in early 2000, I was able to go to Paducah, Kentucky to the National Quilt Show. And on display was a quilt with these same fabrics and design. And you could buy a chance to try and win that quilt. So I bought a chance. But I didn't get the quilt. But before I left, I bought the kit that had all of the fabrics and the pattern. And I brought it back and added it to my stash at home. And didn't do anything with it until 2000, 2007. 2007 was just after breast cancer, surgery, chemotherapy, the beginning of radiation, and beginning to feel good again. So I wanted to quilt again. And I went through my stash and I happened to find this package and I thought, well, I'll look at it. When I opened the book that had the pattern, the name of this quilt was Lady of Hope. And all of the money that was made on the chances in Paducah was going to breast cancer research. So I felt like this was the one that I needed to work on. And so I began in January of 2007. This quilt has 1,152 small squares, and it has 72 large squares. It was helpful to me in getting over the cancer and the treatment that I'd had, and just kept me with a new focus.
And during that time you were writing this book also about your experience?
Well, following all of that,
yes.
I rewrote my journal that I had kept during all my cancer treatment. And I rewrote it, and I named the book Lady of Hope because not only was the quilt named Lady of Hope, but I felt like I was.
And you taught science for your whole career, so this book has a lot of information in it that will help anybody that has breast cancer, correct?
Or any surgery when you were sort of depressed and down in the dumps. It gives you some encouragement.
Well, I know your book is wonderful and the quilt is beautiful. Thank you so much. I am at my sister's home, and she is in the process of making a quilt, and I thought you would want to see how she is putting it together. Can you tell us about it?
I wanted to make a star quilt, so I chose a crazy quilt design, the pointy strip star quilt, and I found it really easy to work with. Okay. The big, you use the 2.5-inch strips, the jelly rolls that you can buy. They're already cut.
Okay.
And then the instructions tell you how to cut your different pieces, shorter pieces, longer pieces, and then your background also. And then you begin to put them together, and the construction. This was a shorter piece, and then you add the triangle, and then you come with one of your other longer pieces. So this is the beginning of it, and you do 2 of those, and then you have to straighten the end of it. Your instructions are really good for that. And you'll come up with 2 pieces like this. They just flip over, and you sew those. And then you've got your squares. And you don't see any stars right now because I haven't made that many, but I can show you by moving a few, I can show you how the star is made.
I see it's starting to make a square, a star.
So then this is your star.
Yes.
And you can, once you have your squares put together, then you can interchange your colors so that you won't have maybe 2 of the same in the same one. But I'm really enjoying working with this one and hope to get it finished pretty soon.
Well, thank you. It's going to be beautiful.
Star quilt, and I found it really easy to work with.